Good evening, Philippines, and hello, world. Welcome to Educators Podcast. This is your host, Ruilito Liano. Education is challenged due to the demands of times and needs. Indeed, our ever hardworking teachers are on the verge on answering those adversities. Let us welcome our guest for tonight. We have Dr. Cristina A. Larase, Dr. Lester Lito Talan, Dr. Feb Grace Villados Taria, and Dr. Janelle B. Luna. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Ma'am Christine. How have you been doing?
I'm doing great too. A lot of paper's work to be done.
May I tap our guest number 2 here? We have Dr. Lester Lito Talan. May I ask, sir, what is your stand about our system of education?
Well, generally speaking, sir, educational system for the last 5 years is drastically evolving and changing. And the global COVID-19 pandemic has had a huge impact on the normal life. With this pandemic, it changed the way of living in different walks of life. Specifically in the educational system. In addition, it is a challenging task as part of a teacher, and also it gives adverse effect on the student learning in coping up with the new trends of educational system. But despite of these educational challenges, our school has developed a comprehensive plan, a learning continuity through distance and flexible learning with the use of varied options, using different modalities like localized and contextualized, with emphasis on the distance learning. And since we look for the health of ourselves and also to safeguard the well-being of our learners, teachers, and stakeholders, we make it sure that we adhere to the policies and guidelines set by DepEd, DOH, LGU, and IATF. And I think this is the best that we've done to capacitate our school officials and also our teachers in the design and execution on the distance or the various distance learning approach. That's all. Thank you.
I am so caught off guard with that answer, sir. Thank you for that one. So, in your classrooms, how do you organize your thoughts or your lessons? Do you follow a system or what?
Well, in my case, I do have systems inside my classroom which are essentials in maintaining the ambience of the room conducive for learnings. And in my humble opinion, organization can simply be defined as the process of identifying and grouping the work to be performed, defining and delegating responsibilities, enabling the learners to work effectively. Just in my case, I group my learners for their performance output, allowing them to work together, establishing camaraderie, unity, and collaborative effort to work for the common goal.
You are up, Dr. Cristina A. Larase. Is there a way you can explain to your students how our Earth looks like on the inside? How can you make them understand it easily?
Every teacher, our goal in every lesson is to promote learning. So, how can I explain about the earth in my class? Of course, I will bring the earth in my class through instructional material. It can be videos, printed materials, or a model. In that way, I can get the attention of my learners. And how can I make them understand easy? Of course, I will apply the learning by doing. because in that way the learners are involved in learning and they can remember and learn more through their experiences. So we all know that the major paradigm shift in the field of education today is teacher-centered to learner-centered. So we all know that learners are seen and known as wondrous, curious individual with vast capabilities and limitless potential. I observe that when we focus on learners and connect to their interests, needs, and goals, we can create experience that ignite their curiosity, passion, and unleash genius.
Very well said, Dr. Larase. This question is addressed to Dr. Luna. Sir, can you give me at least one scenario that could change the way your learners think as to how certain things resulted from one action, and how did you deliver it to your class?
You know what, sir? I have this incident wherein one of my students bullied his classmates, making fun of my one student of how unfortunate her life was because the bullied student is coming from a broken family with almost nothing to eat. What I did was, I allowed the whole class to watch documentaries about child labor and explaining to them that people living in the poverty line are actually struggling just to finance their schooling. And I was so happy because later that day, the bully student made an apology to the bullied student, promised to not do the same thing over again.
Relatively, it's true. It's really rampant nowadays, a prejudice inside a classroom. Considering the health crisis that we are in, may I know how did you handle the sudden shift in your educational endeavor? And what are the varied ways you thought have helped a lot to continue learning?
You know what, sir? The sudden shift was really challenging both ways, the learners and the teachers. But modular was implemented and was very essential in reaching learners from far-flung areas.
Well, in our school, facing with this kind of crisis that we have now, our ways in containing and controlling the spread of virus. First, we implemented the health protocols set by LGU. And I think this is the best way to successfully lessen the spread and to prevent the outbreak of the said virus. And with regards to the educational system, we use varied modes of instruction to cater or to respond the learning needs of our students.
Actually, Sir Wilito, the COVID-19 pandemic has immensely and drastically changed the lives of all individuals, including our education. This made us find initiatives on how we live under the era of fear and turmoil. The advancement of technology really gives me the avenue to continue pursuing my education amidst the pandemic. The sudden change of educational system made me realize that teachers must be equipped on how to handle challenges even in times of pandemic. Enrolling in a masteral course also gives me an extra credit to maximize my own learning, most especially in the different modes of teaching. Either it could be online or offline. The mantra that helps me a lot in developing more in my education is learning is a continuous process. Our world is keep on changing. By this, we must keep a bridge on the new knowledge and strategies for us not to be left behind. We should be the master of change and not the victim of it.
This question is addressed to Dr. Feb. The topics about climate change and wildfire is no longer elephant in the room. How can you convince your learners that gases such as carbon dioxide can directly affect our nature in a bad form?
Well, Sir Wilito, the best way to convince the learners about the deadly effects of climate change due to man-made activities is to provide them with proofs and evidences, reports on the television, videos regarding the inconvenient truth brought by man in nature.
Amassing all these concepts in teaching, not only in science but for teaching in general, can you point out what are the best practices, strategies, or what is the nitty and gritty to teach a student?
I always believe that learners learn best when they have first-hand experience on the subject matter, and teachers are facilitators of learnings. My point is, allow the learners to explore and experience things necessary towards developing higher order thinking skills. Thank you so much, sir, for having me on the show. It will always be my pleasure.
Actually, for me, Sir Wilito, there are no best strategies in teaching the students. All strategies can be applied in the context of learning. The only thing is the students learn best when they experience the lesson activities and process the concepts on their own. The guidance of the teacher as a facilitator also plays a vital role in their learning. Developing higher order thinking skills will be evident when the students truly understand the lesson very well.
Dr. Lester Talan, do you have something to say or a message or greetings for your fellow Ilpanian?
Hi to my fellow Ilpanians out there. I would like to inform you that our Grand Alumni Homecoming will be on June 28, 2022. Please join us as we celebrate it with fun and a lot of surprises. And for more updates, just visit the official Facebook page of GPEHNS or Jacinto P. Alpha National High School Facebook page.
Okay, to wrap this up, I would like to use this line from Charles Darwin because I think it's relevant nowadays that we are experiencing health crisis. And according to him, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent one, but it is the one that is adaptable to change. With that being said, I would like to say thank you to our guest teachers here for sharing your thoughts and your ideas on how to teach a student. And to our live audiences there who are watching and listening to us from the very beginning until the end, please keep updated on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page that is Teachers Vodcast 2022. Until next time.